She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for 911. This is season 1, episode 2. This is a new show that's on Fox. I did review episode 1. I can honestly say I love this show. I already like the characters. So I can already see like a season 2, season 3, and just things that can be transpiring all through the season. So yes, I'm very happy for this show. I hope everyone had a great Thursday. We had great weather here today. Like basically all the snow melted. It was like 50 something degrees today. We always have that here in Michigan. We'll have one good warm day that melts all the snow. And then it gets right back cold and the damn shit turns to ice. And everybody had car accidents. So, you know, it's a cycle in Michigan. So, yeah, but it was still a good day and everything. I'm so happy tomorrow is Friday. I just, it's been a lot going on. I'm just ready to get this week over. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy week. Anyway, I hope you all guys, Lord Jesus, I hope you all had a great day today as well. And we'll have a great tomorrow and a great weekend. So the episode starts off, as we know, 911 is a show about calls coming to 911 center. So every story is a 911 call. So the first time that we see these two kids. They're in the music park. They're waiting in line to go on a music car ride. And one dude is like, I don't know about this. I don't think I want to do this. He don't want to get on it. His friend is like, man, don't be a pussy. You know what I'm saying? Get on the ride. It's these girls here. If they see us get out of line, they're going to talk about us. We're going to get on this ride. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be what it's going to be. Now, the one who doesn't want to get on the ride happens to be a plus-size man, okay? And I am not a fan of roller coasters. I never have been, even when I was younger and smaller or whatever. I just do not like. I think the last time, we have Cedar Point, and it was in Ohio, and I went to Cedar Point a couple times when I was younger, like in middle school, and I hated it. Like I got on. The last ride I can recall myself getting on was the Blue Streak. And this had to be back in 94, 95. So forever ago. But I didn't like the feeling of not being able to breathe. And whenever you're on a ride, I feel like you just like, because you're holding your breath the whole time. And I don't like it. So I'm not a fan of roller coasters. This guy did not seem like he was a fan of roller coasters. Because sometimes people who like roller coasters, they just want to go on a ride. Not this gentleman. And, but he followed his friend's advice and he gets on the ride. Now, when he gets into the ride, it's him and his friend. His friend is a skinny gentleman, okay? He's skinty. And, they sit down. And, you get on the roller coaster. They close whatever the safety bar is. So, they close in the safety bar. And it wouldn't close. And the attendant dude had to force it closed. Now, when I used to get on roller coaster rides, they did not do that. Like you would see in line people getting out of line or getting off the ride because the safety bar wouldn't close. So I'm like, I know. Well, this is a long time ago. But I'm like, I don't think they're supposed to force the safety bar to close on the plus size person. And I don't think that's plus size discrimination. I think that's motherfucking safety procedures. But he push, and it locks. That would have been my first mind to get the fuck off the ride. But he sits down, he stays in the ride. So, they going on the ride, and I'm like, okay. They riding. And sure enough, with one turn, one swoop of the swell of the ride, the bar comes loose and Skinty Friend flies out of the roller coaster. I'm like, bruh. And, you know what I'm saying? Thickums that's still in there, he ain't get out. Now, I'm assuming the only reason he didn't fly out was because he was a plus-size gentleman. And the bar, when it came open, he was still kind of in it. Whereas Skinty Man flew his ass right out. I'm like, this shit is crazy. So from there, we see, of course, the firefighters are there. So the roller coaster now is upside down. So the two cute girls who they were trying to flirt with is hanging upside down. You know what I'm saying? Plus size man is hanging upside down. His name is Devon. Stop calling him plus size man. Devon is hanging on to like the safety bar because the ride is upside down and the firefighters having to come save him. And he's like, "Where's my friend? You know, where is he? Is he okay?" So Bobby called out like, "Hey, what's up with the guy on the ground?" And so Hen and Chimney both say, "Nah, he ain't make it. He dead." And they like, "Okay, we can't tell people that because they gonna panic. So just put him on the gurney and make it seem like he okay and just take him away, but just don't take him away as a dead person." Which I get, because if a person freak out like, "Oh my God, he's dead," they might freak out too. So he like, "Is he okay?" They says, "Yep, he okay." See, they taking him away down. He going to get some help. Now, Bobby is the one, of course, down below. But Buck, the young guy who was having sex in the goddamn having sex everywhere, he's trying to help the guy. So he's throwing out like a little rope or whatever. He's like, "Hey, just grab this, put your arm in, we're gonna pull you up." Plus size Devon is just not having it. He like, "I can't believe this. I didn't want to come on this ride. I can't believe it. So Buck like, "Look, I need you to listen to me. Just take my arm and come on." Devon is so scared, so frightened. He just kind of doesn't take his arm, and then he falls to his death. And I was just like, oh, man, these scenes, man, these scenes. If y'all have not, I hope y'all watch the show. It is so amazing. And he falls and tumbles, and he's dead. Okay, he's dead. Buck is in shock because he just seen the guy just basically not grab his hand and then fall to his death. So he looks shook. And I'm like, man, it's just crazy. So back at the firehouse, we see Buck having a hard time dealing with the kid's death. And we find out it's his first time losing somebody, on the job or whatnot. And, he's just having a hard time coming to grips with it. So at that point, we see Hen and Althea coming. Althea's a cop. So I'm like, "Oh, she at the firehouse?" And Hen like, she having a hard day at home. So she came here to hang out or whatever. And she then kind of tells Buck, "At first I ain't like you, but you growing on me." Okay, we like that. But she then like, "I heard you had a bad day. Do you want to why we wear these uniforms?" And he's like, "Huh?" And she's like, "We wear uniforms so that when we get home and we take them off, we can also take off the stress of whatever we've encountered for the day, and we don't keep all of those crazy things that we deal with on the job home with us because we take our uniform off and we can put it away." I'm like, "Man, that's a good ass analogy." Okay, I was like, okay, I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounded good. I'm like, okay, congratulations to them. And, they all tell them, this feeling will pass. It's your first person, so it's going to be hard, but, you'll be able to get through it. So I'm like, oh, okay. The next thing we see is Abby, and she's at home with her mom, and she's freaking out because she's late for work, and her mama then locked herself in the damn bathroom. So she's like, "Mom, you can't lock the doors." And I'm like, "Abby, she don't remember because she got Alzheimer's. She doesn't remember. She don't remember that." And so she's kind of panicking because the two doors to the bathroom, her mama didn't lock both of them. I'm like, now how the hell she locked two doors? But people with Alzheimer's, they just, do things and you never know why they do it. So when she's panicking, she hears knock, knock, knock on the door. It's the new nurse. And she's like, "You're on time." And she's like, "Yeah, how my name was Karla." Now, Karla is played by, I don't know if anybody ever watched Why Did I Get Married, the TV show Tyler Perry on. She's the girl who played Jennifer. I think she's been in some other little things, but I remember her as being the ghetto Jennifer on Why Did I Get Married. So she's now Karla, she's the new nurse. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm on time, how you doing?" She's like, "Mom locked herself in the bathroom." She's like, "Oh, you don't, you can't have locks on the inside of the doors. You need to take all the locks off the doors and only let them be locked from the outside, not the inside." And she's like, "I haven't this safe-proof my house for Alzheimer's patients or whatever." She's like, "Oh, it's okay. You know what? My husband's a handyman. We can get it all figured out. But let's get out the bathroom." I mean, she was so cool, calm, and collected. She went to the door, and while Abby like, "Mom, I need you to open the door," and she's like, "Let me handle this." She's like, "Mrs. So-and-so, I need you to kind of stand up. Are you on the ground?" She's like, "Yeah." "Well, I need you to stand up and walk to," she just handled it like a professional. She's a real ass nurse. And she gets the mama out the bathroom. She's basically got a goddamn superhero. So, from there, Abby is just so happy. And she's like, "Go ahead, go to work, do what you have to do, get away from all this for a couple hours, and I'll see you when you get back." I'm like, isn't she just a nice, pleasant ass she's the kind of nurse you want for your parent when they are at the age where they need assistance and you can't be like, you can't not work, you have to work to pay for it. So I'm like, now this the kind of, yes, okay, Karla. So we see the thing is great. So back at Althea's house, Althea and Michael, they're working on being cordial and being, they not yelling at each other. So, he like, hey, babe, you want some coffee? She's like, haha, no. And I'm like, okay, Angela, that ain't Ike. So from there, they're like, well, where's your sister, talking to the son? And he's like, oh, she said she's sick. She's in her room. She's in the bed still. So both Althea and Michael go in her room like, hey, oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? You're sick? She's like, yeah, I'm sick. I don't feel good. She was like, Althea said, do you have a test you didn't study for or something? She's like, no, I said I'm sick. And then I'm like, okay, she's a little bit whatever. So Michael said, you know what? You go ahead and go to work. I'll move some meetings around. I'll get her situated at home. And then, she can stay here. It's fine. And then he gives her the coffee. And she's like, thank you. I'm like, okay. It's a whole cordial moment between Michael and Althea. It's hard to be cordial to your husband when he tell you that he gay. I don't know if I can do it. So the next thing that we see is a 911 call. And the dude is like, he said, I'm being attacked by dogs. They're these devil dogs. I'm like, devil dogs? Like hot dogs? Like deviled eggs? But no, it's barking Dobermans in the background. So, of course, we hear the car go out over the little police scanner or whatever. We see Althea cut the lights on, and she flip into action. I'm looking like, okay, she gonna be first one on the scene. Althea ass drive to her rallies. Okay, now here, our rallies is called Checkers. It used to be called rallies, and now it's called Checkers. And they have really good spicy chicken sandwiches. I love them for like $2. Yeah. Anywho, she go to rallies, and she flicker lights. Doot, doot. Is the Mercy, get out the way. So the cars, and she pulled, like, you go out the drive-thru. No, she was trying to go in the drive-thru the way they come out the drive-thru. So the car that was in the drive-thru had to, like, back up. I'm like, girl, you gonna just pull in like that? But it was what it was. And she getting some food. I'm looking like, Althea, girl. But I'm like, okay, maybe that's what cops do. I don't know. I'm not a cop. So from there, we see Hen and Chimney, and they get to the scene first. And they look in the window, in the patio door, and there's a guy on top of a kitchen counter, and he's spraying these two big ass Dobermans with the water sprayer thing or whatnot. And they're like, sir, just be still. Stop spraying them with water because it's gonna make them more pissed off. Animal control is on the way. So he's like, they're gonna kill me. So they're like, no, just calm down, stop spraying them, be still. Althea didn't pull up, and I'm like, oh, she just brought food for the whole gang or whatever. Nope, Althea's a genius. She got the hamburgers from the restaurant for the dogs, because if you think about it, dogs get distracted by food. So, her and he go in the house, and, Althea throw like the first two burgers at the dogs, and they stop attacking the dude, and they go eat the burgers. Then he go open the closet door, and then Althea throw the other two burgers in the closet door, and they trap the dog. I'm looking like, now there's some goddamn MacGyver geniuses. Okay, I'm like, I wouldn't have not thought about that, because the guy was like, just shoot him. I'm like, don't just kill the dogs. Kill him dead? Okay, that's what it is. So they're like, no, we're not gonna kill him. This is just the easier way. So then he like, what I'm saying? You a nice, sexy, little, pretty little thing. Talking to Althea. And she was just like, And then she walked away. So I'm like, well, girl, what's going on here, genius? You didn't see that man fighting with you? But I guess she is still a married woman. So, he and like, you didn't just notice that? And she's like, what? And she was like, the sexy, tall, chocolate man flirting with you, you didn't. And she's like, he must be a dog because I'm wearing my wedding ring, so who hollers at somebody with a wedding ring? And he says, Althea, your husband is gay. That ring ain't gonna be on for much longer. That's what a true friend say to you. Your true friend says to you, bitch, your husband is gay. Get over it. Or friend. Like when my friends do dumb stuff or they ask me questions, they know I'm gonna say something real, I be like, I say their first name. I be like, first name, last name, friend, and then I give my whatever conversations. But she was like, your husband gay, and your husband does like men. And she's like, what, I know that, but right now my vow still means something to me, so I'm not breaking them. And you have to respect that, because even though her husband gay, she like, I'm still married. You know what I'm saying? He might be a piece of shit, because not even a piece of shit. He just different, okay? He likes something different. You know, it is what it is. And Althea then says, um, was that patio door open when you got here or was it closed? She's like, no, it was closed. She was like, so was the front door. And as they saying that, a car pull up and this man get out holding grocery bags. And he was like, stray dogs can't get in the house if the doors was closed. And then the man like, what are y'all doing here at my house? And they're like, this your house, sir? And he's like, yeah. He's like, where are my dogs? And then she was like, your dogs is okay, but unfortunately you was robbed and we let the robber go. The cute, sexy man was a goddamn robber, and the reason dogs were barking at him, attacking him, because he was breaking in a house that did not belong to him. And then they let the guy go, thinking he was the owner of the house. Now, I guess because the guy called 911, so you wouldn't think, because you wouldn't think a burglar would call 911. But this burglar did, he ended up getting away from it, so it was what it was. So Althea, of course, is pissed off. Like, man, this motherfucker played me. He flirted with me because he was a goddamn robber. And but it was what it was. So after that, the next thing we see is Karla and Abby, the nurse, and Abby, the 911 dispatcher. And, you know, she's happy because her mom is like calm, cool, and collected, so she can actually be home from work and just have a moment to herself. So she's having a glass of wine. And then she's like, Karla, do you want some wine? And she was like, yes, because of course she's off work. She hasn't left yet. She's like, yeah, because my husband was arguing, so I'm not going home just yet. I'm like, you know, you argue with your boyfriend and you want, or your husband, and you want them to kind of just a little bit think you may have been kidnapped or murdered, and they worried, and then you want to come home right before they call 911. She trying to do that. I've done that before too. It is what it is. It is it's very, very effective. But I'm single now. But that ain't had nothing to do with it. So anyway. Karla then asked, you know, hey, why aren't you out with your boyfriend? Your mom's been talking about him all day. And Abby's like, yeah, of course she would, you know, because she keeps forgetting that we broke up. And that's it. That's a funny joke, because when you talk to a person who have Alzheimer's and they keep bringing up something, you like, they keep talking about that shit because they forgot. I don't be with that person no more. So I laughed when she said that, saying that, you know, they broke up once her mom moved in. She's like, because she just didn't have anything else to give, because she was giving all her energy to her mom, trying to take care of her. And she's like, you know, it's not sexy when you're trying to be with someone and your mother is in the other room snoring. I mean, that's true. You know, but you would think if you with someone and they love you, they would want you to take care of your mother. So if he didn't want to be there with her because she was being a responsible child to her parent, fuck him, okay? You know, it's what it is. So then, as they sitting there, she see Buck on TV. And this is the second time she's seen Buck on TV. The first time was earlier, which I didn't mention, because he was the one who saves all the other people on the ride and just the one guy who fell that died. So they was interviewing him about that. But, you know, she remembered Buck from the whole home invasion thing from episode 1. And she has a crush on Buck. And Carl looking like, girl, firefighters are sluts and whores. And, you know, they're just dogs. And, you know, the cute ones are the worst. Policemen and firefighters are sluts. I'm so sorry. They are sluts. That's why I get for being mean to people. They are sluts. And the cuter ones are even worse sluts. I can tell you that from experience. And, but not firefighters, but police, yes. I did date a firefighter, but we, you know, let me stop getting off topic, damn it. So, she's like, you know what, I just want to talk to him because, you know, he was the first person in years, you know, who talked to me over the phone, and he actually said to me that I did a great job, and I was a hero too. Remember, Abby thing is people talk to her, and they never really talk to her. They're just giving her whatever issues they're having, so she that resonated with her. So, and she says, everyone's treating him like a hero, but he looks as if he's, you know, feeling bad because the person he was trying to save failed. I'm like, well, she hit that on it, you know, she really did. It's true. So she like, you know what? I'm gonna call him. Now I first thought, well, how the hell did she get his, like, is she gonna call the fire department? Like, what's she gonna call to talk to him? She picked up her phone and she called his phone, and I'm like, how he answering the cop phone and he answered his cell phone, and I was confused. I'm like, I know she must have called the firehouse, but how he answered the firehouse phone out there in the field, because he out there putting out fires. I'm like, no, what the hell going on? Now, she didn't call his cell phone. And he like, hey, who is this? And she's like, oh, it's Abby, you know, the 911 operator. And he's like, oh, hey, how did you get my number? And she's like, oh, I got it from the report, the record of report, whatever. So you a stalker. Abby, you're a cougar and you're a stalker. So he like, okay, cool. And he's literally somewhere like putting out a fire. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's cool. And, she brings up how, she saw him on television and he looked like he was maybe not doing too good with everything that happened. And he's like, so thanks for noticing. That's true. And then they start chit-chatting a little bit back and forth. And I'm like, okay, Abby. And then he's like, well, you know what? That's really cool. How about, I can call you sometimes. And she was like, okay, yeah, sure, you have my number now because, I called you from it. So, just call me anytime or whatever. And then they hang up. And I'm like, go Abby, go Abby, go Abby. I was like, Abby, out here in these cool streets doing what she got to do. And she at least got the guy to say he wants to talk to her. So I thought that was cool. So next we see how Buck goes to the boy's funeral who passed away. And the sister sees him and she's like, what happened? And then he's like, well, it was weird. I told him to reach out for my hand and he wouldn't do it. It's almost as if he just gave up. She's like, he said, it was so weird. I'm so sorry for your loss. I feel horrible. And she was like, he didn't give up. He wanted to live. This is all your fault. He wanted to live and you failed him. This is your fault. And then she walked away. I would have been like, well, where the fuck was you at? Okay, why wasn't you there with him? But he didn't do that. Of course, because he already feeling some kind of way because, of everything that's going on. So I'm like, that's just kind of crazy. So, what else do we have? There's a little scene where, like a windshield wiper dude clean the windows at like a building. He almost falls to his death or whatever. So, at the scene, we got the firefighter there. So, Buck usually is the one who goes up the ladder to catch people, but because he's still running over the guy who died, he like, no, I think I'm gonna go to the roof and handle it that way. So Bobby noticed he's avoiding going into trouble situations. So the guy don't die, so it's fine. But after that situation, Bobby go talk to Buck, and he's like, you hesitated today, and he's like, yeah, it's just kind of crazy, and he can see that he's just kind of tripping about the whole guy who fell to his death thing. So Bobby just gets him a car and says, you don't have to talk to me, but you need to talk to somebody about what you're going through. He brings up the first person that he lost and how he remembered everything. And, it was just, his way of connecting, saying, I know what you're going through. I've been through it. It happened to the best of us, but you need to talk to somebody about it. So that's fine. So then we see Buck at the therapist's office, and it's this lady, and he's talking to the therapist, and she's like, you know what, I think you might be scared of something because maybe there's a reason that you keep running to the danger. And he's like, well, I'm not scared of anything, and he's like, I'm only here because my captain suggested it. And then she's like, yeah, but he brought up that you froze on the job the other day. And he's like, well, I didn't froze, I just hesitated a little bit, that's what it was. He brings up how he's only been on the job, I need some water, how he's only been on a job for 6 months. And, for him, he felt like something else could have saved him. Like, it should not have went down the way it went down. And he's like, something else could have been done. And she's like, do you blame him? And he's like, I don't know. But, the kid, he just wouldn't take my hand. I just can't get over the fact that he just wouldn't take my hand. And she's like, I can't get into the victim's head because he's no longer here. I can get into your head. And you have to remember, not everyone wants to be saved. And I'm like, okay, here's what it is. So then he like, well, okay. He's like, can I ask you a question? She's like, sure. And he was like, did you send me a friend request on Facebook? And I'm like, well, where the fuck is this going? And she's like, oh, yeah, but that was before this appointment was booked, and it's because I saw you on television and everything like that. And he's like, oh. And she's like, yeah, you probably should delete that. Then they sleep together. I'm like, doctor, you're the doctor. You're a therapist. You're a full-fledged therapist. She sleeps with him in the therapy office. And I'm like, if she charges insurance and she gets paid for that, ain't that prostitution? Like, I think if you sleep with someone and they have to pay you for the time that y'all was together, that's prostitution. God, she's freaked out like, oh my God, I can't believe that I slept with you. I can't believe that. He's like, what? I feel great. I feel better now. I'm looking like, he got a real ass sex addiction. Okay. She's like, you know what? You need to leave. Now, at the same time as Buck was having his therapist scene, they were showing a therapist scene with Althea and her husband. I just feel like one with the back and forth how they did it. But, her therapy scene, Althea was telling Michael with a therapist, I'm angry, I feel like, but the therapist like, that's good that you're expressing yourself. And she said she just feels like she doesn't like being made a fool of. And, she feel like he made a fool of her. She then said, you were absolutely right, Michael. I did know, somewhere not so deep down, I knew you were gay. I knew you were gay, but I wanted a life with you so bad that I just chose to ignore it. That's how bad I wanted to make a life and a family with you. I'm like, now that's deep. You want a family with a man so bad that you're willing to accept him being gay? I don't know if there's any man that I could accept him being gay because I want him in my life. Not even T.I. I love T.I. Like, if T.I. was gay, I still couldn't stay. Nope, don't want it. So, but she was saying, even my scarf hurts my head, y'all. I'm taking it off. Sorry. So, see, yep, it's all my hair, people. All my hair. So, she's saying how even though she knew he was gay, she still isn't ready to let go of the love she had for him. She doesn't want to do that. And, he's like, you know what? You're not, Michael then says to her, you're nobody's fool. You're a strong, beautiful, loving woman. I'm the fool, it's my fault. I let you fall in love with me because I was hoping that you could fix me. And a lot of gay men, I had a friend, who I dated. Like, it was a boyfriend. We dated like a month and broke up. And at one point we became really, really good friends. But I was like, I think he gay. And, he didn't talk about it or whatever. But turns out he had done some gay things in his life. It was what it was. And so we became really good friends. But later on, he ended up marrying and having kids with a lady. But, girl. But yeah, so I've that like people really do stuff like that. They want to not be gay so much, they will marry a woman and have children to change themselves. Because some people are just no longer gay. That's very true. But some of them do it hoping it can turn them not gay, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, he tells her, like, no one is trying, because I think she feels like if he's gay, that she won't have her family anymore, because she keeps saying, like, I wanted a family with you. And he's like, no one is trying to take your family away. We have a lot of things to hold on to. And then she's like, saying, yes, but I want to go down that road with you. I'm like, with your gay husband? But, And then she's like, she says, we basically already living, a loveless, sexless marriage. So, if you can commit to being celibate, I can commit to being celibate. We already not having sex, and we can just continue to live our lives how we've been living it. And she's like, can you do that? And he's like, and she's like, what? And he's like, I met someone. I'm like, damn it. And she just kind of was like, because it was shocking. Because it's one thing for your husband to tell you that he's gay. But then if he out here trying to shop around as a gay man and you have a whole wife at home, you trying to leave, because I think he wants to eventually leave the marriage but still co-parent and be a family, and she feel like you have to be my husband, you can't be gay. You can be gay, but you can't act on it. And I think he's in a whole different mind space. So the next thing we see after her husband telling her that he met someone, she on the phone calling somebody, and she's like, hey, boo, what's up? And I'm like, Althea had her a piece on the side. And then he like, hey, who's this? And she's like, I'm surprised you don't remember me. I guess I need to refresh your memory. And I'm looking like, Althea out here, I'm fighting and bopping too. You can't be mad at Michael. But when we see who she talking to the damn robber dude. She done... I'm like, you done found this man? So so we see him on the phone, and he don't know it's her. And she kind of just talking. And then he was like, where are you? He's like, well, I'm close. She's like, do you like dogs? Dobermans? And he looking around like, who is this? And she's like, it's the police, fool. And he like, how you get my number? And she was like, your dumb ass called 911 for your cell phone. You so stupid. And he turns and look, and he see the cop car. He runs, but they catch him anyway. And she kind of like, she didn't assault him, but she kind of, you know what I'm saying, just pushed him on the car a little bit. She's like, you so stupid. You played me for a fool. And then another squad car come up and get him. And you see her just looking pissed off because, again, she feel like he made a fool of her. Just like she felt like Michael made a fool of her. And I'm like, okay, it was what it was. But it was funny. The last thing that we see is, I thought it was a really cool scene. They have these cool scenes in they have these cool scenes in both episodes. There's a guy trying to jump from a ledge, and it was kind of funny too because he's upset because he thinks his girlfriend cheated on him. So the girlfriend's like, I didn't cheat on you. Get off this stupid ledge. Don't be an idiot. You think I'm stupid? I know you cheated. She's like, you are so dumb. I did not cheat on you. I did not do it. So, you know, Bobby and Chimney and all and Hen and Buck all pull up, and Bobby like, we're gonna have to do the maneuver. And I'm like, what the fuck is the maneuver? So Buck looking like, oh shit. And they like, no, Buck, you got this. So I'm like, what is the damn maneuver? So, you know, Bobby go upstairs, and as he gets upstairs, the girl is saying, you know, you're so dumb. You wanna jump? Just freaking jump. I don't even care. And Bobby like, that's not what she's supposed to tell me. She's like, he's an idiot. He thinks I cheated. I did not cheat, and he wants to jump, and he's not listening to me. And he's like, well, just apologize. And she's like, but I didn't do anything. He's like, no, but maybe he just wants to hear you say sorry, and he'll be over. He won't jump. He'll come down. And she's like, honey, okay, I'm so sorry. I love you. You're the only one I want to be with. So now come down. And he was like, you lying, bitch. I'm like, what kind of comical shit is this? He on a ledge and she pissed like, you better put your foot out there. You better not jump. And he's like, shut up, you cheat. It was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, if your girl cheat, don't kill yourself. I mean, don't kill her. Just don't kill anybody. If your girl cheat, just leave, okay? Just go. There's plenty of fish in the goddamn Coochie Sea. Go to Coochie River, get you a new coochie, and leave it at that. So Bobby then starts talking to the dude. He's like kind of distracting him. So I'm like, well, he talking about somebody in Paris or whatever. And the guy is listening. He's looking right at Bobby. But as he's doing that, we see Buck is climbing down the building on the side. And I'm like, what the fuck is he propelling down for? And then he ninja kicks the dude back into the house because he kind of swoops down and then ninja kicks him and he goes back into the house. I'm like, Buck is a ninja, so cute. And you know, they of course end the day. So I'm like, okay, he ninja kicks him. It's funny. So back at the firehouse, next thing we see is the sister of the guy who fell to his death. The sister is back, and she's like, you know, I'm so sorry. I'm here to apologize. You know, my brother was suicidal for a while, but we got him into therapy. We thought he was better, but I guess he wasn't. You know, it's kind of my fault too because I wasn't there for him as much as I could, and I'm so sorry. And then he's like, you know, it's not your fault either. You know, remember, some people just don't want to be saved, and I thought that was a great message too. It was what it was. It was a scene where it was Karla, Abby, and her mom at dinner, and basically Karla convinced. No. Karla was telling Abby that she was a cougar, and then Abby's like, you know what? I'm gonna call Buck and I'm gonna ask him on a date. So she go and calls Buck, and she basically's like, you know, hey, and he's like, how old are you? And I'm like, well, that's a fucked up way to ask a question like that. And she's like, what? And he's like, no, it's because, you know, you always call me. You know, he's like, most people, they text or Skype or Facebook Live or something like that. You know, they don't really call. And you call, so I'm like, you must be older. Now, she never did say her age, okay? And again, they have never, he hasn't seen her. She's only seen him. And, you know, she's like, well, yeah, I'm just, you know, I guess I'm an old school person. And she's like, you know, I was wondering if you wanted to, like, maybe go out and meet up, like, for drinks and meet in person. And then he was like, you know, that would be great. You know, I think you're really cool. We have, you know, these great conversations. He's like, well, however, I feel like if we meet up in person, you know, we're going to have sex. You know, I just have issues with that, and I don't want to ruin it. And she's like, you assume if I see you, I'm going to want to sleep with you? And he's like, yeah, it's just my issue, and I don't want to ruin it. He's like, you know, I like have you in my life, and I don't want to mess that up. So I think for the time being, we should just talk on the phone with each other until, you know, we can meet. Now, That was nice because he then said, you know, this earlier today, I slept with my therapist and I shouldn't have. And you know, I just have this thing where I'm just addicted to sex. I'm gonna knock the damn table over. I was like, that would have been my key to say, you know what, Buck, you're cute, bye bye. But she was like, oh, okay, and she happy with that because he was saying, you know, I still want you in my life, so we can just talk on the phone. So she's happy because he didn't say. I mean, he said no, but he said yes. He said no, but he said yes. He said yes, but he said no. All the same thing. So you know, she goes back to the table, and her mom and Carla like, why are you smiling? And she's like, oh, he said no. They're like, right. So why are you smiling? She's like, well, because sometimes, you know, the right kind of no is better than the wrong kind of yes. And I'm like, because that's basically what he did. So I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. And then the last scene is, you know, Althea gets home and her son is like, you know, Dad said we can eat without him. She's like, of course he did. Ha 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 ha. Where's your sister? And he's like, I don't know. I think she's in her room. You know, she hasn't been out in a while. She's like, okay. So she goes to check on her daughter and she opens the door. And on the floor, you see like a bottle of pills. And then you pan over and the daughter's on the floor passed out. She's like, oh, so she's panicking because her daughter didn't took some damn pills. Her daughter didn't try to kill her damn self. So the next thing you hear is the 911 call about Thea calling in saying, my daughter, I think she's OD. I think she's dead. And the show goes off. Look, if y'all have not watched 911, you really like it, or just continue to watch my reviews. Either way, it's fine. So yeah, but it was a great, great episode. Can't wait to the next episode. And now I'm about to watch Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta and review that. So guess what? I am Jay Lee. Guess what else? This is Jay Lee's Corner. Until next time, people. Peace.